Welcome back to Something Awesome. I'm zettovyker. Sorry about the last episode. We had a little bit of a giggle fight. And so, today we continue our Let's Play of Katawa Shoujo Act 2, Hanako's Castling. Is that you, Hisao? Yeah, it's me.
I can hear the pitter-patter of footsteps coming to the door, followed by the sound of the lock snapping open. I don't think I've ever seen Lily's door locked before, and it makes me a little suspicious. Once the door opens, the sight is a little underwhelming for a birthday party. Hanako returns to her seats at the table with a quick smile and a nod, leaving me too close, and assuming they wanted it to be kept that way, lock the door. As I do so, I realize that the scene before me is that of an evening tea party, just like any other between the two. Somehow, I don't think I should be surprised. To my relief, Hanako looks relatively calm. The break from class has probably done her good and given her time to wind down a bit. I take a seat between the two at the low table in the center of Lily's room, the brightly colored teapot steaming away between us. A tall brown bag by Lily's side catches my attention. I covertly try to glance inside it a couple of times, but can't get a good look from here. Looking to Hanako, it seems like she's as curious about it as I am.
Hey, Lily.
Lily finishes off the teacup, raises her lips before setting it down and giving me her attention.
Yes? I was just wondering about that brown bag.
She pauses for a moment, then gives a slightly cheeky smile.
That would be Akira's present. Unfortunately, she said she was working and can't join us.
Lily leans over and feels out the item inside before raising her arm. I raise an eyebrow as the two items, not one, rise from the bag. The glass necks are grasped by Lily on either side of her middle finger. So this is why she had her door locked?
Fine.
There are two small thuds as the bottles are brought to the rest of the table, one red, one white. I want to believe that it's fake, not alcoholic wine, but if it was, there wouldn't be any need to be this circumspect.
Alcohol? Seriously? Are you sure this is a good idea?
Lily smiles politely and giggles. I'm not really convinced that she is.
These would be the present for my sister. I know it's a bit questionable, but a little shouldn't hurt.
If Lily took serious issue with it, I don't think she'd have agreed quite so easily. That aside, I had Akira squared as the serious and responsible type, maybe like an older Lily, but it looks like I was wrong. We aren't even legally able to drink yet.
Well, in that case, I won't complain. They don't look bad, either.
I'm no connoisseur, but at least the bottles look nice. Apart from the surreptitious glass of wine or two given from my father at family dinners, I haven't really had enough to know what's wine, what's what. That, and I can't really say that I'm a total straight edge. Going by Hanako's expression, she's thinking the same, and it's her birthday anyway.
Shall I open one? Sure, I'll get some.
My heart skips as I hear sharp pains coming from Lily's door. Hanako's head flicks around, and Lily's eyes close as she listens intently. None of us want to be busted for this.
Who is it? Let me in. I'm cold.
Lily lets out a resigned sigh before motioning for Hanako to open the door. She obediently gets up and fusses her own gown before moving. Apparently, still not quite sure of who it is, but trusting enough in Lily to do as she requests. I can just see a blonde, dark-suited figure become visible over Hanako's shoulder as she opens it.
Happy birthday, Hanako! Thank you, Akira.
Hanako gives a small bow while twirling her fingers in front of her. So, this is Lily's elusive sister. Akira follows Hanako to the table after shutting the door behind her, giving me plenty of time to have a good look at her. She looks to be about the same age as Hanako, and has short blonde hair that's quite roughly cut. That, in addition to her rather modest dress, masculine suit, and deep voice, gives her quite an androgynous effect. Without further ado, she plops herself down to the side of the table across from me.
It's nice to have your company after all, Akira. Did work let you off? Yep. I have to get back there in a bit, but I managed to get enough of a break to drive down. So, this would be Hisao, then?
A confident smile gets thrown in my direction, so I nod politely in return. Considering she just jumped straight to using my first name, she's much more informal than her appearance would suggest. Wait, if she already knows who I am, that must mean that Lily's talked about me with her. I wonder what she said.
Sorry for not introducing you, Hisao. This is Akira Sato, my elder sister. I see. Nice to meet you.
The person in question loudly clasps her hands together, making Hanako jump a little bit. Akira noticed this and looks uneasy for a fraction of a second before getting back into her stride. Only now I do realize that Akira hasn't paid Hanako's scars any undue attention. Hanako also seems to be comfortable, if not exactly relaxed around Akira.
Well then, I assume the presents got through? No point in no point in waiting, considering Hisao and the birthday girl look like they're pretty eager.
Lily giggles as I awkwardly turn away, a little embarrassed by the fact that I couldn't hide my interest. Hanako's eyes are telling me that she wants to try the wine together with me, though, so I settle for a look of badly feigned indifferences. Akira manages to uncork the first bottle with small effort, and Hanako goes to get some glasses before I get to pour the four of them full of white wine. I heard somewhere that white wine has less alcohol than red wine, so I think it would be best to start with.
Here's to Hanako, and to Lily's trip.
Cheers!
Cheers! Just cheers!
After the traditional raising of the glasses, we all take sips of the pale yellow liquid. It's nothing like the stuff I've had with my parents, with the fruitness of the flavor almost entirely hiding the taste of alcohol. Maybe this is what proper wine is supposed to taste like. Then again, it's possible that Akira just chose a wine which would be suited to our tastes, since none of us are used to alcohol yet. Or at least, I hope none of us are.
Hey, this isn't too bad. I was expecting something harsher. If you hadn't liked it, I have a few other varieties you could have chosen from. You sound like you know your stuff when it comes to wines. Only a bit. I'm more of a beer kind of person. I have the drinking side down pat, though.
As if to prove her point, she fills her glass before bringing it to her lips and flicking her head back. Hanako and I silently watch as the whole glassful disappears down Akira's throat. I can't decide whether to be impressed or put off, but I certainly don't have any urge to imitate that act. Lily grimaces slightly at her sister's boast. I note that she is sipping from her glass as she does so, though.
Anyway, now that Akira's gift has been opened and sampled, shall we move on to ours? Gifts? That's right, we got you presents. It's your birthday, after all. This is from me.
Lily pulls out the carefully wrapped doll from under the table and passes it to Hanako. Hanako handles the present as if it were glassware, carefully turning it over to remove the tape that binds the wrapping. Eventually, the paper falls from the doll, revealing the emerald green of the doll's dress.
It's beautiful.
I'm not sure what reaction I was expecting from Hanako. The near total lack of dolls in her room made me think that she didn't even care about them, but the look in her eyes is now somewhat different. She turns the doll around with the same delicacy she afforded the wrapping, as if she was expecting it to fall apart in her hands.
I'm glad you like it. Hiso picked it out, to be honest.
Hanako suddenly remembers that she is not alone in the room and shifts her focus from the doll.
Yes, I like it. Th- Thank you, Lily and Hisao. Actually, I got you something else.
I reach into my bag and remove the wrapped chess set.
Here, happy birthday.
Hanako carefully sits Lily's doll next to her and opens my present with the same care that she showed Lily's. Before long, the checkered squares of the chessboard are visible, and Hanako gently runs her finger across the carved surfaces.
Oh,
Almost by accident, she triggers the to the lid, startling herself in the process. She opens it and retrieves one of the gray pieces. She seems as absorbed in the chess pieces as she was in the doll before.
they're coral. Natural coral, undyed. Or so I'm told. Thank you, Hisao. No problem. It's your birthday after all. That's right, my birthday.
Once again, Hanako's reaction seems a little off, but she carefully closes the board lid. I notice Akira smiling, beginning to look very strained. I wonder if she knows anything about what happened in class, given that she seemed to be treading on eggshells around Hanako.
I'll have to play you again sometime. I'll make sure I'll play you first.
She takes the doll she received from Lily and holds it in her chest together with the small chessboard, putting the pieces on top. The act seems to settle her down somewhat, and we just sit in silence for a while. I think it's one of the few times I've seen her genuinely happy, cradling the friendship of two people to her chest as tightly as she can.
Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Hisao.
In the process of thanking us, Hanako drops a chess piece and fumbles a bit in her rush to retrieve it. When she finds it, Hanako puts the chess set down and nervously gulps at her wine. It's as if the real world suddenly rushed back to her consciousness, and her fastest escape from it was in a glass.
Hey, easy there. You shouldn't drink it that fast. It is a party, Hisao.
Despite saying this, there is a slightly concerned edge to her voice. Eventually, acquiescing, Lily proceeds to follow Hanako's lead, though not as eagerly. She looks to be taking small sips from her glass and letting the wine settle on her tongue before swallowing it. I decide that this is probably the best approach and do the same myself.
Since this is kind of a going away party for you as well, I hope you enjoy your trip at least a little, Lily. Hopefully your aunt will be okay. I I hope your aunt is okay too, Lily.
Lily and I are slightly taken aback by Hanako's fervor to wish Lily well. Despite her own familial situation, I am a little impressed.
My. Thank you both. I'll be sure to convey your thoughts to my family when I meet them. It'll be all fine in the end, Lily. Don't worry about it.
Since the room's mood has become noticeably more sullen, I decided to try and move things along.
Well then, shall we start on the cake?
My tentative suggestion has the intended effect, everyone lightening up considerably.
Yes, please. Cake? I didn't know there was any cake. I picked one up before I came, along with some snacks. Well done, Hisao. At least one of us remembered to bring one.
Everyone seemed to welcome the distraction, so I retrieved the cake from my bag and started cutting it up. Mixing wine and chocolate cake isn't something that I thought would work well, but none of us seemed to mind. Conversation is temporarily suspended as we start to eat. I was initially wary of this idea. After Hanako's panic attack, I expected the worst from tonight, but I think Lily's idea of giving her good memories of her birthday is working. That and also having a shared with her going away party. From Hanako's reaction to her gifts, I can tell she was really appreciative. Hanako tries to pour herself another glass of wine, but ends up spilling some on the table. She's had a couple by now, so considering that she's never had any alcohol before, it's no wonder if she's feeling a bit lightheaded.
So sorry, Lily. I didn't mean to make a mess. Don't worry, I got it.
Lily reaches sideways and gently takes the fussing Hanako in her arms, giving me pause.
It's okay, Hanako. I'm just happy you're here.
Hanako gives only a faint nod in response. It's fitting, I suppose, that Lily would be the one to support her like this. I have no idea what Hanako would be like if she hadn't. Seeing the two like this makes me appreciate the fact that I'm privy to such an intimate moment. Even Akira can't help but smile at the sight. I never would have thought I'd imagine to find new friends so quickly, and I am all the more thankful that of all people, these two are the two I befriended. They slowly break off from one another, Hanako regaining herself somewhat while I quickly get myself back on task. I find a towel among Lily's tea set and start mopping up the spillage. By the time I finish, however, Hanako and Lily manage to uncork the other bottle and have topped off their glasses.
Looks like you're enjoying the wine then. Just don't go too crazy with it after this, mind.
We all dutifully nod and agree, but her reminder feels a bit silly given that she's the one supplying underage people with alcohol. The second glass of wine goes down a lot quicker than the first, and before any of us notice, the second bottle is empty. While Akira is helping us finish them off, Hanako looks to be almost equaling her in the amount she's had. My head feels a little light, but I think I've managed to gauge my own tolerance surprisingly well. Hanako smiles lazily, toying with her doll's hair. I think it's pretty safe bet that she hasn't moderated herself as well as I. I don't think it was Hanako's intention to get this drunk, but it seems that the alcohol hit her all at once. She has a very light frame, something which wouldn't help her handle her booze well either. Lily cradles a glass, running her finger around the rim. Her cheeks are rosy, but she's managing to avoid looking woefully drunk. Akira is, as I somewhat expected, largely unaffected. Her smile might be a little wider than before, though. Maybe. Hanako suddenly hiccups and actually knocks over the doll.
I think should maybe go to bed. Thank you, Hisao. Thanks, Lily and Akira.
She slurs Akira's name pretty hard, barely avoiding breaking out of into a giggle midway through. She's completely plastered, and I can't decide whether I should feel a little bit bad or not for being amused and at the state she's in. It, it really is bizarre to see her acting so carefree. A shame that it's not only to help with the help of alcohol.
Here, let me give you a hand.
Akira begins to get up to help Hanako out, but she stops when Lily gives a sharp cough.
Hisao, would you please?
Akira looks a little surprised, and I have to admit that I am as well. I don't mind the request at all, let alone when it's said with such a smile. It just comes rather unexpectedly.
Sure, no problem.
I pick up the chess set and help Hanako stand up. I do feel somewhat responsible for her considering that, other than Akira, I'm probably the most sober person in the room. She nurses the doll in one hand and offers me the other. We stumbled out of the door into the hallway and into Hanako's room, Hanako bumping into me a number of times on the way. Inside the room, I flick the lights as Hanako turns her attention toward a shelf on her dresser. An elegant doll is sitting on it, staring into the bare room.
There you go. You'll be safe in here.
Hanako gingerly places the doll next to the other one and straightens its dress. They sit in silence, hair and clothes perfectly arranged, just like the teapot in Lily's room. They serve as a distinct contrast to the dull white and grays that permeates her bedroom. Satisfied with that her dolls, her only two real possessions, are safe, Hanako takes a step back and stands up, staggering severely. I step forward to catch her if need be, but she regains her balance without my help. For a while, both of us stand in silence as Hanako looks downward toward the cupboard. After a minute or two, she begins to sway a little from side to side. It's very off-putting.
Are you going to be alright?
Hanako raises her head and turns around to me as if she's only just remembered that I'm also in the room. What's expected is that she takes two steps toward me and wraps her arms around my body, her head coming to rest against my chest. I can feel my heart beating as all of the senses feel like they're coming alive again after they're deadening through the previous drinking.
And we'll have to cut it here, folks. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave your comments below, and subscribe if you want to see what happens next. I'll see you guys next time, and good night.